Have you ever felt that overwhelming urge to beg someone to stay? It feels like your world is crumbling, and your first instinct is to hold on tighter, to plead for them to reconsider. But instead of bringing them closer, your desperation only seems to push them further away. It's painful, confusing, and deeply frustrating. In today's video, we'll explore why disappearing and focusing on self-growth is far more powerful than begging for someone to return. The truth is, the moment you beg, you lose your power. You shift from being a confident, composed individual to someone who is at the mercy of another's decision. But here's the good news, you can take back that power, and you don't need anyone's permission to do so. Imagine this, instead of reacting emotionally, you choose to go silent. Not out of revenge or anger, but as a deliberate choice to focus on yourself. You begin to invest in your growth, your well-being, and your future. This isn't about playing games, it's about mastering your emotions and showing the world, and yourself, that you are complete on your own. The most powerful transformation happens in silence. When you stop explaining, stop seeking validation, and focus on evolving into a stronger version of yourself, that's when everything changes. So, if you've ever found yourself trapped in that cycle of chasing, begging, and hoping for someone's return, it's time to break free. Today, I'll show you how disappearing isn't an act of weakness, it's the ultimate act of self-respect and growth. One of the fastest ways to lose someone's attraction is to beg. Begging not only strips you of your dignity but also creates a dynamic that makes the other person feel pressured and, ultimately, repelled. Let's break down why this happens. Human attraction, especially for women, is deeply tied to emotional perception. Women are naturally drawn to strength, confidence, and composure. When you beg, you communicate the opposite: insecurity, desperation, and dependence. This immediately shifts the power dynamic, and instead of inspiring connection, it creates distance. Imagine a situation where you are constantly chasing someone, pleading for another chance. The harder you chase, the faster they run. This is because your actions are subconsciously telling them that you are not enough without them. No one wants to feel like they are someone's entire source of validation or worth. Think about this. When was the last time you admired someone for begging? Probably never. True admiration comes from seeing someone handle adversity with grace and strength. In relationships, the same principle applies. A man who can accept reality, stay composed, and focus on bettering himself, even in moments of heartbreak, becomes far more attractive. The irony is that the more you let go, the more powerful you become. By choosing silence over begging, you regain your power. You show that you are in control of your emotions and not dependent on anyone else for happiness. This creates a sense of mystery and self-respect, which, in turn, reignites attraction. So, remember, the key is not to beg or chase. It's to show that you respect yourself enough to walk away with your head held high. When you stop trying to prove your worth to others, you naturally begin to radiate confidence, and that's when true connection becomes possible. There is an underrated power in silence. It's not about playing games or trying to manipulate someone. It's about creating space, both for yourself and for the other person. When you disappear quietly, without dramatic farewells or emotional pleas, you communicate something far more profound than words ever could. Why does this work? It's simple. Silence forces reflection. While constant communication can cloud judgment and emotions, silence opens the door for clarity. It allows both parties to step back and reassess the situation with a clear mind. This time apart often helps her realize what she had, while giving you the chance to focus on your growth. But here's the key, the silent exit isn't about her reaction. It's about you. Too often, men fall into the trap of waiting for her to notice their absence, hoping for a response. That defeats the entire purpose. Your silence is not meant to trigger a reaction from her, it's a tool for you to regain your balance, rebuild yourself, and rediscover your purpose. So, what should you focus on during this silence? Build yourself in private. Work on your physical health, improve your career, pick up a new skill, or dive into something that excites you. These personal victories will strengthen your confidence and reshape your identity. Think of it like this: when you focus on growth in silence, it's like planting seeds. Over time, these seeds grow into something powerful, something undeniable. And when she eventually sees your transformation, it won't be because you told her about it. It will be because it's impossible for her not to notice. Remember, silence is powerful when used with purpose. It's not about creating distance, it's about creating space for growth, clarity, and transformation. Let your absence speak for you. Trust me, it's far louder than words. Mastering your emotions is not just a skill, it's a superpower. The ability to remain calm, composed, and unshaken, especially during emotionally charged situations, sets you apart. This concept is at the heart of Stoic composure, controlling your reactions rather than letting your emotions control you. Let's think about this. How often have you seen someone lose control, only to regret their actions later? Emotional outbursts may feel satisfying in the moment, but they rarely lead to productive outcomes. Stoic composure is the opposite. It's about responding with thought, not reacting with impulse. Here's why this matters. When you keep your emotions in check, you maintain power over the situation. People around you notice your self-control and respect it, even if they don't say it out loud. This isn't about suppressing your emotions but rather learning how to channel them productively. A great example of this is how some public figures handle controversy. Keanu Reeves, for instance, is known for his stoic attitude. In the face of media pressure or personal loss, he rarely reacts emotionally. Instead, he stays calm and focuses on his work and self-improvement. This calmness has earned him immense respect and admiration. Imagine someone who just went through a painful breakup. Most people would vent on social media, share emotional posts, or try to confront their ex. But a man with stoic composure takes a different approach. He stays silent, processes his emotions privately, and works on becoming a better version of himself. This controlled response makes him stronger, wiser, and more attractive in the long run. What can you do to master your emotions? Start by recognizing emotional triggers and giving yourself space before reacting. Take deep breaths, reflect, and ask yourself, is this reaction helping me, or is it just feeding my emotions? Practicing mindfulness and meditation can also help you build emotional resilience over time. Remember, being calm doesn't mean you don't feel pain, it means you don't let it dictate your actions. It's about knowing when to act and when to hold back, choosing self-respect over emotional chaos. And trust me, when you stay composed while others lose control, you'll always stand out. One of the most captivating qualities a person can possess is mystery. Being unpredictable and maintaining an air of intrigue makes you naturally more attractive. When people can't fully figure you out, they become curious and invested. Predictability, on the other hand, kills interest. Think of it this way: if you always reveal your intentions or constantly seek validation, you become an open book. There's no thrill, no discovery, and ultimately, no intrigue. This is why keeping a part of yourself private is crucial, not out of manipulation but to retain your independence and individuality. Never reveal all your cards. This simple rule applies in many areas of life, especially relationships. When someone knows exactly what you'll do next, there's no reason for them to stay engaged. But when you keep them guessing, you create a dynamic that keeps the connection fresh and interesting. Here's an example: imagine a person who shares every detail of their life on social media, constantly updating the world on their thoughts and emotions. It may seem like transparency, but it quickly becomes predictable and uninteresting. Now compare that to someone who remains quiet, posts occasionally, and lives life without the need for external validation. The latter person naturally draws more attention because their life remains a mystery. Mystery is not about hiding who you are, it's about controlling what you reveal and when. In relationships, avoid being overly available or predictable. Surprise your partner from time to time. Take up new hobbies, cultivate new interests, and keep growing in unexpected ways. This not only enriches your life but also keeps those around you curious and engaged. Remember, being mysterious doesn't mean being distant or closed off. It means maintaining self-respect and independence. It's about building an inner world that others want to explore, not because you're forcing them to, but because they can't help but be intrigued. One of the most powerful strategies for overcoming heartbreak is to level up in silence. This means focusing on your personal growth, without broadcasting every move. You're not improving yourself to gain anyone's attention, you're doing it for your own evolution. In silence, you cultivate strength, independence, and resilience. Let me share with you a story. There was a man named David. After a painful breakup, he felt lost. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, David made a decision: he was going to transform himself. He focused on his physical fitness, hitting the gym regularly. Slowly but surely, his body grew stronger, and with it, so did his mind. Next, David turned his attention to his career. He invested in learning new skills and seeking out opportunities for growth. Within a year, he had advanced his position at work and gained respect from colleagues who noticed his newfound determination and confidence. But David didn't stop there. He nurtured meaningful relationships, surrounding himself with positive people who uplifted and encouraged him. His social circle expanded, filled with those who appreciated his growth and authenticity. Here's the key: David didn't post about his progress on social media or try to prove anything to anyone. He let his success speak for itself. When his ex eventually noticed the transformation, it was clear that David had become a different man, one who no longer sought validation from the past. Leveling up in silence isn't about revenge, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, so much so that the past no longer defines you. Focus on improving your mind, body, and purpose. Invest in hobbies that bring you joy, challenge your limits, and take care of your emotional well-being. In time, you'll realize that this journey isn't about winning someone back, it's about winning yourself back. And trust me, when you prioritize your growth, the right opportunities and people will naturally find their way to you. Stay committed, stay silent, and let your progress do the talking. One of the biggest tests after a breakup is how to respond when she returns. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, feeling excited, hopeful, and even tempted to jump right back into the relationship. But here's the truth: how you respond will define the dynamic going forward. The key is indifference, not out of spite, but as a form of self-respect and emotional control. When she comes back, don't rush to give her your full attention. Stay calm, composed, and centered on your priorities. Remember, you've already spent time leveling up, rebuilding yourself. Don't undo all that progress by acting impulsively. Think of it this way: when someone leaves and returns, it's not always because they've had a life-changing realization. Sometimes, they're just curious to see if you're still waiting for them. If you immediately welcome them back with open arms, you risk losing the self-respect and strength you've worked so hard to rebuild. A Stoic response is measured and thoughtful. You're not cold or distant, but you're also not overly eager. Instead, you listen, observe, and take your time to decide what's best for you. This doesn't mean you reject them outright. It means you maintain control over the situation and assess it on your own terms. For example, if she reaches out, respond kindly but briefly. You don't need to jump into long conversations or instantly meet up. Give her the space to show genuine interest and effort. Let her actions speak louder than her words. By staying indifferent and maintaining your self-control, you show her, and yourself, that you've grown beyond needing her validation. Your strength and independence become your greatest assets, and if she's truly serious about reconnecting, she will respect the new version of you. Remember, indifference isn't about playing games, it's about protecting your peace and maintaining your self-worth. Stay calm, stay focused, and always choose what aligns with the best version of yourself. There's a powerful realization that every man must eventually come to: you never really needed her. The value of your life has never been defined by someone else's presence. Your worth was always within you. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your happiness and identity are tied to a relationship. Society often tells us that success and fulfillment come from external validation, from being wanted, accepted, or loved by others. But the truth is, true happiness and strength are born from within. No one else can give you the sense of completeness that you can give yourself. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how much power you gain when you stop seeking approval and start living for your own growth? When you focus on your purpose, your passions, and your self-mastery, everything changes. You become the center of your world, and suddenly, the things that once seemed so important, like her opinion, no longer define you. Take this as an opportunity to rediscover yourself. Start building the life you've always wanted, not for anyone else, but for you. Focus on your fitness, your career, your mental health. Learn new skills, travel, and push your limits. This is your time to evolve. For example, many successful men have shared that their greatest personal growth happened after a significant loss. Why? Because loss forces you to rebuild yourself. It strips away everything superficial and leaves only the core of who you are. And from that foundation, you can build something far stronger. The moment you realize you never needed her, or anyone, to validate your existence, you'll experience a profound sense of freedom. This is the true essence of self-mastery. You are complete on your own. So, stop chasing what's outside of you and start embracing what's already within. You've always had the strength, the resilience, and the power. It's time to claim it. This journey isn't about winning her back. It's about rediscovering yourself, reclaiming your power, and building the life you were always meant to live. Every step forward is a victory, not because you've proven something to her, but because you've proven it to yourself. The truth is, life is about growth, resilience, and self-mastery. The most powerful thing you can do is focus on your evolution, not on external validation. When you pour your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, you'll naturally attract the right people and opportunities into your life. Think of every setback as a stepping stone. The loss, the silence, and the time spent alone are all parts of your transformation. You're stronger, wiser, and more capable now than ever before. You've reclaimed your identity, and no one can take that from you. So, let this be the beginning of a new chapter, one where you choose yourself first. Let this experience fuel your growth, and remember, the real victory isn't in winning someone back, but in winning yourself back. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Together, let's inspire a community of strength, resilience, and self-empowerment. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more insights on personal growth and relationships.